And probably if he's going there, he might not really get scared. He might say, oh, what a nice delicious food. It might happen like that. So first of all, I'm getting scared of that thing because I'm a human being. So that means as a human being, I have a certain kind of potential in my mind in order to see that phenomena as a snake. And we call the habitual patterns or the habitual tendencies or the so if you look at from the Four Noble Truths, you can also relate that to the karma. Okay, in a way, I have a human karmic debt. I have a human karmic projector. Because of that, I'm being able to see that phenomena as a snake. Now the second thing is that encountering the object. So I encounter certain kind of object which looks like a snake, right? So it is very unlikely that I will be mistaken tree with the snakes. Probably not. So this object looks like a snake, and because of that I get scared. So there's certain kind of similarities and encountering my eye sense with this object. It's close. Now the very important part is the third one. Because of these several causes and conditions, the third one is that mistaken view. So what happened? Because of my habitual tendencies, because of the look-alike object, and then this complete miracle, so to speak, magic happened. Oh, there's a snake from nowhere, right? And this is what we call Tsushin Maimba Yilejepa. When you have these kind of conditions, and then you see something that is not what it is, and then taking it as something else. And this is exactly what conventional truth happens. How conventional truth happens in our daily life. So now there's two things happening. If you look at from the Four Noble Truths point of view, we say that the truth of origin is combined karma with the disturbing emotions, right? And then if you also trace the disturbing emotions, it always comes down to this ignorance. So exactly the definition of ignorance is that not knowing the reality. Because here in these situations, reality is that there is a rock, that's it. But because of certain causes and conditions, I could not recognize, I could not realize, I could not see rock. That was the first mistake. Now, did we just stop that at the not knowing level? What happens if I just saw that and I didn't recognize it as a rock? If we just stop there, probably I will still not get scared because I didn't know, I didn't see rock as a rock, but I still didn't take it as a snake. So now, the second mistake I will make is that it's not only that not seeing the reality, but I will put my own mental imputation. Oh, there is a snake. So actually there's two very big mistakes happening, and both of them are happening from the subject, the one who sees, right? It's just nothing is changing from the object point of view. It's just right there anyway. So the first one is we call not knowing the reality, but on top of that, because of that, I will how to say, lopartopa. Not just, it doesn't stop at the level of not knowing, but I will impute, something that is what it is not. And that even makes worse. Oh, that is a snake, right? I will impute a snake. And this is we call the wrong mistaken view, wrong knowing, wrong understanding. So when you have this two ignorance, not knowing the reality, but not only that, putting your own reality upon the object, and this is the what exactly you can say the ingredients of the complete conventional truth. So because of that, in the text it says that in Tibetan the word conventional, although in English maybe you cannot really go to word by word, but in Tibetan we say kun zop, no? There's these two words, kun zop for the conventional truth, and timuk rangshin dipchir kun zop de. So this experience is not just not knowing the reality, but it will cover, it will obscure to see the reality. And then from there, it will lead to another so many mental imputation, disturbing emotions, which will eventually turn into the suffering. So among the Four Noble Truths, what I'm trying to focus here is that among the Four Noble Truths, when we talk about the true truth, we're very much talking about the truth of origin, and especially when we talk about the conventional truth, we are really trying to see how we have been deceived and what are the causes and the conditions for that. As I was saying, that it's very important to know that dream as a dream. So now, okay, so now what happens? You got scared, but then somehow you came back and you checked to make sure whether it is really snake or not. Now first of all, here you have to see is that all these illusions, we can say that almost 90% is happening from our mind's point of view, yeah, not from the object's point of view. Yes, there's a certain credit that goes to the rope because it looks like a snake, but if you look at the whole picture, it's very much happening from the one who experiences it. So now, what is ultimate truth? So ultimate truth again can be explained from both from the object point of view and from the subject's point of view. That means from the reality's point of view and the mind that recognizes that reality's point of view. Okay, now so how to get rid of that scariness, that suffering, that illusion? You can run away, you can do so many other things, but these are all temporary methods. So best get rid out of the suffering from the root is to come back and have some courage and to see whether it is real snake or not. It's not a little easy way, but it is very crucial and important. That's why Maitreya says sometimes Dharma is like a very effective medicine with quite a bad odor. When you just encounter, you don't feel like I wanted to eat it. Bad smell. But it is important if you want to cure. And this is exactly, many times what happens is we see the snakes and we just wanted to run and, kind of like pretend that now it's solved. The problem is that if you run, you will see another snakes. So the best way is to come back and see whether it is a real snake or not. And this is the solution. It's like a real solution, not just quick fix or so if you wanted to cure, you have to have a little bit patience with this bad odor smell of your medicine, right? Even you don't like it, but you have to take it because and also so and to go back and investigate, analyze, right? Is it a real snake or not? So now this snake was never there. It was an illusion. And you find out, oh thank God, it's not snake. And then suddenly the moment you recognize this is nothing but the rock, everything, all this fear will just go away. So actually all our practices, all this, whether you practice for simple practice or whether you practice something very important, mantra or other practices, each of our practices are actually is like going one step towards the snake and see whether it is real snake or not. Now so now the ultimate truth would be that you go there and snake was never there. So this rock was always devoid of snake. Whether you see it or not, it was always devoid of the snake. So this is, you can call the ultimate truth from the objective point of view. And that's why we say that form is emptiness. At the beginning, at the middle, at the end. Whether you recognize it or not. So in this context, form would be more like a snake that we see, and emptiness would be more like devoid of the snake. And the mind that sees that snake as a snake, or mind that recognizes, oh, it's not a snake, and this is, we can call the ultimate truth in terms of the one who sees it, one who recognizes that reality. So both you can call it ultimate truth in this context. So generally what we experience is only conventional truth. And then let's say Buddha or the noble ones, they are the only one who sees as it is and also who experiences as it is. And also they react according to that, not how things appear to us. So that's why we suffer, because we are scared from the illusory snakes. So to sum up, I will speak about this more maybe tomorrow again, but to sum up, what I was trying to say is that true truth is important because it's a ground, is an object of our correct view. The more you understand about the true truth, more you will have the clear view. And the second thing is that true truth is not something just philosophically discussion, but also it is very much that what we are going through our experiences. And the third thing is that trying to relate true truth with the Four Noble Truth, and then whatever experiences we are going through is nothing out of this mechanism that I explained. There's a condition, there's a habitual tendencies, and there's a certain kind of not knowing or the imputation happening. And we always fall into the exaggeration or denigration. And this is why we are suffering. So, when we are having a nightmare, it is very important to know the dream as a dream. And similarly, to understand our suffering, it is very important to understand the true truth, especially how the conventional truth works. And maybe I will talk about the dependent origination and it's a little more detail tomorrow as well. Sunam Diyam Tamche Sikbani Tomne Ne Pe Ranam Pamje Ne Kegai Nachi Bola Trupari Sipe Sole Droa Droa Shu.
By this merit may all attain omniscience, may it defeat the enemy wrongdoing, from the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara may I free all beings.